Beneath the shallow reefs, something is moving, hunting. Only 4 inches long. Painted in colors that shouldn't exist in nature. A warning, a decoration, a lie. To every predator around, it looks harmless. Easy prey, but it isn't. Because in that tiny body is a strike faster than a bullet. A strike that doesn't just hit, it breaks water, tears it apart. This is the peacock mantis shrimp. For most animals on Earth, survival in the reef is about being invisible or being deadly, hide or hunt. But the mantis shrimp has chosen a third strategy. Be so strange that nothing knows what you are until it's too late. What makes them so lethal isn't just the punch, it's what comes before it, and what comes after. The mantis shrimp doesn't just fight, it hunts with a precision that makes apex predators look clumsy. Watch how it moves through the reef. Deliberate, patient. Those antennae aren't just for show, they're sensory organs detecting the faintest chemical traces of prey. The shrimp is building a map of the reef in real time, scanning for anything edible. When it finds something, the mantis shrimp doesn't rush. It stalks. It positions itself. And then, in a fraction of a second, it fires. Before we talk about the punch, let's first talk about the eyes. Because everything the mantis shrimp does starts with seeing something we can't. You know how your eyes work? Light hits your retina. Special cells called cone cells detect color. You have 3 types of cones, one for red, one for green, one for blue. Your brain mixes these 3 signals together to create every color you've ever seen. The mantis shrimp doesn't work that way. It has 16 types of color receptors. 16. That's not better color vision in the way you might think. It's not like seeing more shades of red or blue. It's fundamentally different, like someone who's only ever seen the world in black and white suddenly seeing color. The entire framework is different. Here's what's wild. Scientists still don't fully understand why it needs 16. With that many color receptors, you'd think the mantis shrimp would have perfect color discrimination, better than any animal on Earth. But it doesn't. Its color discrimination is actually similar to ours, sometimes worse. So evolution gave it extraordinary visual hardware for reasons we still can't explain. But we do know this. The mantis shrimp uses those eyes to hunt. And when it hunts, it doesn't rely on speed or brute strength, it relies on intelligence. When a mantis shrimp spots prey, it does something remarkable. It stops and thinks. Most predators operate on instinct. Pounce when you see movement. Strike when the moment feels right. The mantis shrimp does the opposite. It observes. It measures distance. It assesses whether the prey is worth the energy of hunting. Some prey gets the full power of the punch. Armored crabs with tough shells. Things that need to be shattered. Other prey gets grabbed and crushed. Smaller creatures that don't need maximum force. Still other prey gets plucked and eaten whole. The shrimp choosing the most efficient strategy for each target. This isn't behavior programmed into its brain at birth. This is learned. This is decision making. A 4-inch animal operating with the tactical awareness of something much larger. The reef has adapted to this. Fish learn to recognize the mantis shrimp's colors and avoid them. Crabs hide when it approaches. Other shrimp flee on sight. The mantis shrimp's brilliant colors, those electric blues and greens and golds, aren't camouflage. They're a reputation. A warning that says, I am dangerous. And the reef listens. The mantis shrimp has 2 specialized appendages called raptorial claws. They're coiled beneath its body like loaded springs, storing energy. When the shrimp triggers them, those claws accelerate at 50 times the force of gravity, faster than a bullet leaving a gun. The claw itself is only moving for milliseconds, but in that time it's traveling at 50 miles per hour. The water around the strike point can't move fast enough to get out of the way. The water literally tears apart, and in that tear something extraordinary happens. The rapid decompression creates a vacuum, a bubble of nothing where water should be. Physicists call it a cavitation bubble. When it collapses, all that energy has to go somewhere. The water around it compresses violently. The temperature spikes to 4,700 degrees Celsius. For context, the surface of the sun is 5,500 degrees, and that flash of light you see from the strike is a phenomenon called sonoluminescence. Light born from the collapse of a bubble in water. It's a miniature explosion happening inside an ocean. And the only place this occurs naturally on Earth is here, in the punch of a 4-inch shrimp. Here's what scientists still don't understand. They still don't fully understand why the mantis shrimp sees in 16 colors. We understand the punch. We've mapped the physics. We can measure the force, the cavitation, the temperature. That's solved. But the eyes? That's still a mystery. The leading theories suggest the 16 colors might help with speed of recognition. The shrimp doesn't have to process color the way we do. It just sees it, instantly categorized. Or maybe the colors are a form of communication with other shrimp, a visual language we can't perceive. Or maybe it's something we haven't even thought of yet. That's the thing about nature. The more you understand it, the more questions emerge. The mantis shrimp isn't just a curiosity, it's a reminder that there are still creatures on this planet. Creatures we can study, creatures we can see, that operate by rules we don't fully grasp. It hunts in shallow reefs. It's been there for millions of years, and we're still figuring out how it works. That's not a failure of science, that's the entire point of it. The mantis shrimp reminds us that mastery and mystery aren't opposites. We've decoded the punch, mapped the neurons, measured the extremes. We've sent probes to distant planets and mapped the human genome. And yet in shallow reefs where sunlight still reaches, a 4-inch creature continues to operate by logic we haven't translated. It sees dimensions of reality we can only theorize about. It communicates in colors we cannot perceive. It hunts with precision we've barely begun to understand. Perhaps that's the greatest discovery of all, that complete understanding isn't the destination. The questions are. In studying the mantis shrimp, we don't find answers about nature. We find ourselves, curious, humble, forever learning. And in a world that often feels fully mapped and explained, that's something worth protecting.